Welcome back. When it comes to getting a driver's license in Ohio, part of the process for teenagers includes 8 hours in the car with a certified instructor.
But there are bills in the State House and Senate that, if passed, could give families in Ohio the option to use an app instead. What do you think about that? New tonight, the delicate balance, convenience versus safety. Get ready for the start of a potential driver's ed controversy.
Let's go to the left here, making sure we're checking both ways here.
Mike Price is the owner of Jack's Driving School in Mason. Today, he's allowing me to be the student driver in one of his official vehicles.
For the state of Ohio, every instructor goes through about at least 60 hours of training.
But if one Ohio politician gets his way, driver's ed, as we know it, would significantly change.
If the driver's ed schools were perfect, I don't know that we'd be having this discussion at all.
State Rep Roy Kluffenstein is co-sponsoring House Bill 425. It would allow a licensed driver who's 21 or older, armed with a new app, to sit in the car with newbies who've gotten their learner's permits, potentially taking the place of the 8 hours of in-car instruction.
Look at the airline industry. You know how they train pilots? It's on simulators, it's on apps, it's on programs. Certainly, we can come up with an app to make better drivers.
Kluffenstein represents a rural District 82 in the northwest corner of Ohio. He says there are many areas like his in the state where families have to travel at least an hour and a half to the nearest driving school and face 6 months or more on waiting lists. Mike Belcour, the man who oversees driver education in Ohio for AAA, says these driver's ed deserts are a concern, but replacing certified car instructors with an app could be a bigger concern.
It is a requirement for the driving instructor to be in a car which has a passenger brake, a extra rear view mirror so they can see all around the car. So if things do go wrong, the instructor has the training and the ability to control the car.
If this application is approved and it takes the place of driving school, what will happen?
I believe you're going to have, I'm afraid you're going to have more crashes.
Before getting a driver's license in Ohio, you have to be 16, have a learner's permit for at least 6 months, complete 50 hours of behind-the-wheel training that a parent has to verify with a signature, and spend 8 hours in car with an instructor. Our experts, AAA Mike and Instructor Mike, both see that instructor part as the most important piece on the way to a driver's license.
As far as training is being able to grab the steering wheel and do what we need to do with it to keep you on the straight and narrow here.
Right.
But that comes with training. That's not something that, I'll be honest, that I don't think a lot of parents can maybe react as quickly.
There is a place for technology and apps in education, especially with driving. I'm not saying that we're totally against an app, but the in lieu of the driving instructors are where I fall.
You know the saying, there's an app for that, but the question is, when and how will this one be used? Now, the House bill and a similar Senate bill both have a long way to go, but it could be reality here in the next few years in Ohio. State Rep Kluffenstein says more than 50%, now listen to this, more than 50% of potential drivers in Ohio avoid all of the requirements because of the distance to driver's ed places and the cost, and they just wait until they're 18 years old to simply take the test and get a license. So he's saying for people like that, wouldn't it be great if some training is better than no training? Perfect argument for use of this new app. So there you go. A lot
of
of
information, and you don't think about sometimes those kids who just don't have the access to it.
And you figure the responsible families will still get the training that they need. So we'll see.